Hello, Doomers. It is I. I'm back talking to you from the hellscape where I'm still lamentably alive. Presumably, I sinned in all of my previous lives, and that's why I'm currently stranded in this one interminably. Interminably for the time being. There will be light at the end of this fucking tunnel. So anyway, I decided to talk to the Doomers today, essentially just to say hi. I'm still alive. I was offline during the week. I didn't post anything on Twitter, and that would be unusual for me. Yeah, I would be active on the different platforms, but I wasn't. One day during the week, I decided to disconnect for the day and enjoy the revenants of the October sunshine. So I didn't post anything during the morning or the afternoon. By evening time, as some of the doomers had noticed my absence, and I think they were about to dispatch search parties for me, or more particularly for my corpse, because I think they were expecting to find me hanging underneath a willow tree. Is nice. Doomers are nice. They notice when you're not around, and a lot of them do express concern. Yeah, Doomersphere is a great place. Doomers are lovely. There are a few exceptions. Some Doomers are difficult. Just some. Yeah, it's always going to happen. It's always going to happen. The majority are lovely, urbane, tuned in cats, but there are a few who are just, yeah, not sure if I like you, Doomer. Fuck off. But not many, the vast majority are lovely. And they are very considerate and empathetic. Uh, Yeah, this week, so we're talking about doomers. Most of them are nice. Some of them are. This week I drew the ire of some doomers for using the word retard again. Yeah, using the phrase normie retard. Apparently, doomers can't and shouldn't use the word retard for reasons. So yeah, they kind of came out of the woodwork when they heard the ore bomb being thrown around to describe our normie brothers and sisters. But I think I've talked about it before. Fuck that. Fuck policing words in 2024. It's absurd. If you're on fucking climate Twitter at the moment, scrolling through climate Twitter, and look, that's fucking La Nina is about to last for a hot second before we're back in El Nino again. Yay! Or all the fucking marine heat waves are about to completely incinerate the coral reefs or blah 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 blah. So if you're looking at all of that, and the thing that really freaks you out is some weird black hat doomer calling normies retards because he thinks they're incapable of meaningful cognition. You need to check yourself. In my opinion, it's a word. It's a word. Or if you don't like the word, just move on, shuffle on. I don't like when people try to be mind guards. I don't like that. I don't need a mind guard. I don't need someone to police my thoughts. And I certainly don't need anyone to check my language. I'm the kind of doomer who does select words that I think express the thoughts that I'm trying to express. So that needs to be, remembered. Ian knows what words he's using. Ian's comfortable with the words he's using, and just don't try to be a mind guard. Just fuck off, fuck off. So yeah, there was a bit of that this week. Uh, and the tweet machine, sometimes I am kind of honest if I'm in a kind of miserable place or if things are going wrong in my life. I stupidly am honest about that kind of stuff on Twitter, even including suicidal ideation, which is, for better or for worse, something that doomers do think about. And yeah, it's just kind of part of the process for a lot of us. Um, when I do post stuff like that, I get a lot of numbers to helplines and suicide helplines, that kind of thing. It's like, oh God, yeah, it's well intentioned. It's well intentioned, um, but there isn't a man or a woman alive. There isn't a normie man or a normie woman alive who would be able to make me feel better about anything in the world or my personal circumstances at the moment. They just wouldn't be capable of generating sentences sufficient to talk me off the edge. And I wouldn't do it to them, nor me fucking volunteer on a suicide helpline or the Samaritans, or even a fucking professional like a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I wouldn't do it to them because I would have to explain everything to them and demonstrate how it's all interconnected. And I would be able to do that, and it could damage them. Uh, could damage them. Maybe that's a good reason to do it. Maybe I should fucking do it. Maybe that's what I just need to do every evening to fill the evenings. Torment volunteers on suicide hotlines and the likes. Uh, yeah. This will probably be a short video, guys. I don't really have anything to talk about. It's 8 minutes in and I'm already talking about suicide. Uh, Je suis désolé, Dummers. Je suis désolé. Oh yeah, just suicide in general. Um, I know when peeps hear that kind of thing, they automatically don't want you to unalive yourself. I mean, they do first because they do enjoy your company. They enjoy your takes and this and that. So I understand that. But there is just something deep within human beings where they hear the word suicide and they just kind of go panic stations and do everything in their power to reduce the possibility of the same. It's arguably a symptom of life cultism. We talked about it before. Life cultism is, that kind of belief that no one dies, no one should die, all death is wrong. Yeah. So there is an element down that in the doomosphere, but also in general society. Um, yeah, I live in a medium-sized city in the southwest of Ireland, and there's a big river in the city, and the river is the preferred dispatch method of locals who do want to unalive. They jump into the river. Usually it's a big spectacle because the riverway is also the most popular walkway of the city. So a lot of people are taking their daily constitutionals when someone, jump off the bridge, and then they'll initiate the rescue attempt with choppers and boats and that kind of thing. Sometimes they do rescue or save the chap or chapette. Oftentimes they don't. So it is kind of a bizarre place to take a walk because there is always the possibility that you'll see someone die, that kind of thing. Um, but yeah, so this is obviously a thing in my city, and it is a cause of concern. Like, people don't really want to see, sort of, let's go for a walk, and oh look, somebody's jumping off the bridge again. So they set up a suicide squad, not like the superhero things. The suicide patrol. Yeah, they're not a suicide squad. They're a suicide patrol. More particularly an anti-suicide patrol or a suicide prevention patrol. So they're just a bunch of normies. I presume they've done some light training, but no, they're not police. They're not, They just walk around the river wearing high visibility vests, pestering people, keeping an eye on everything. But essentially pestering people. And they will, if they see someone sitting alone, they will approach the person, try to initiate contact, and the person has to play ball. Or else they just won't go, and it can escalate absurdly. Um, yeah, yeah. I'll give you an example. So one of the bars that I frequent, there's a wee chap working behind the bar. My Doomer best mate and I call him Rat-Faced Bastard. He's not particularly nice and he looks like a fucking rat. But that's besides the point. We're not face shaming Rat-Faced Bastard. So anyway, yeah, this was a few years ago. I can't give you the exact year. A few years ago, and there was a heat wave in Ireland, and the heat wave was one of those heat waves where the temperatures would maintain during the night. So lovely, lovely warm nights. Sort of you could be out and about in your shorts and t-shirts, and you would not feel a chill. So Rat-Faced Bastard finished his shift in the bar at, I don't know, two, half two, whatever. And he thought that he'd get a Chinese and he'd go to a park that's located next to the river. You just go there and scoff away his Chinese and just enjoy a bit of peace and quiet after the his shift in the pub. So I got his Chinese and he skedaddled over to the park, maybe half two, and he was slurping his curry, enjoying the evening. And then the group, the fucking patrol emerged, most of whom are fat. Now that shouldn't matter, but it does. Most of the patrol members are fat. They don't walk particularly fast either. Maybe if they walked a little bit faster doing their patrol, they wouldn't be chunky. But they are, and consequently they walk quite slowly, which is also annoying because it extends the period of time where they could attempt to interact. Back to Rat-Faced Bastard. So he's getting stuck into his fucking curry and he's approached by the goons in the suicide prevention patrol. And, how are you this evening, sir? This crap. Rat-Faced Bastard. Now, he's fucking horrible little bastard. You know, he's just not particularly courteous. He's, I don't know, he's just one of those chaps who's sort of, yeah, great. Yeah, he doesn't like people. He's a barman who doesn't seem to like people. So, yeah, rat-faced bastard doesn't really like people. They decided to interact with him at the end of his shift when he's eating curry, trying to enjoy a bit of peace and quiet. And he's, you know, lads, would you go away? You know, just go away, go away. And they wouldn't. They wouldn't. They have policies, and one policy is if they interact with you and you don't give them what they want, you don't go, hi, I'm fine and not suicidal. They'll pester you. You have to play along, or else they'll escalate and call the cops. And that's what they did with Raphael's bastard. He was like, you know, lads, this is fucking ridiculous. Go away. I'm just trying to have a fucking curry. But they detected some mental unease in his responses, would not leave him alone, such that he got angrier and angrier. To the point where they had to call the cops, and he was brought to the local cop station. Cops in Ireland are called guards, or the Gardaí. That's Gaelic for cops. So he was brought to the Garda station to cool off. So that's the kind of shit you have to put up with from the Suicide Prevention Patrol, a bunch of busybody bastards trying to interact with you. And if you don't interact back, you get to go to the Garda station. Shit. That's some normie shit. You have to interact with me. I know you're sitting on a bench and you obviously look like you don't want human company, but I'm gonna annoy the shit out of you because I'm concerned. And if you don't appease me annoying the shit out of you, I will escalate it and ruin your evening and perhaps your reputation. Absolute fuck. Fuck me. Back in the day, I would go to the river, you know, just take a walk, and there are benches, and I would sit down scribbling away on the bench because I'm always kind of jotting down my thoughts and that kind of thing. But I had to stop doing it because I had a similar encounter with some fucktard in a high visibility vest who presumably thought I was penning my suicide note. You know, normies just don't understand why anyone would be writing anything. So they were quite concerned that I was penning my suicide note. And in that situation, I didn't tell them to fuck off. But I did get out of the situation very fucking quickly. How are you tonight, sir? I'm fine. I'm fine. Actually, I'm in a mad rush. Sorry there, lads. Have a good one. Fucking idiots. So yeah, I can't go down to the river walk anymore. When you're a single guy, you're just not really welcome anywhere. You know, sort of if you're just walking in nature, people look at you like you're a wannabe, you know, sex attacker. And say, no, I'm just walking in nature. You really do need to have a partner or a dog or a child to justify your presence. If you don't have one of those, automatically you're an aberrant person or ne'er do well. An absolute joke, absolute fucking joke. So why are we talking about the suicide lads? Yeah. Oh yeah, just people don't like suicide. Good luck with that, lads. um, but yeah, I just decided to post a video today just to provide some proof of life. I don't have a newspaper to actually provide proof of life, so you'll just have to trust me when I say that this video was made on Wednesday, or no, Thursday, the 17th of October, and I am alive. I haven't been posting videos recently because I have been trying to disconnect more during the day to enjoy a little bit of sunshine while we still have it. Yeah, it's getting dark at around 7, temperatures start dropping at around 6, so it's good to get out there in the late morning and afternoons just to squeeze the last out of it. So I have been out in my preferred nature spots quite a bit recently, and I didn't see any foxes. All the dragonflies are gone. Yeah, that makes me sad. All of the dragonflies have left, and I haven't seen the fox. I do spend time with a family of white horses. And they've taken a shine to me because I kind of hang out close to the field where they live, so they see me on a very regular basis, and they know that I mean them no harm. So as a result, I've developed a wee bit of a relationship with them. And the family of white horses have a lovely little white foal, absolutely lovely chap, and he looks awesome too, because his mane is a mohawk. It stands upright, so he kind of looks like Tina Turner in Mad Max 3, Beyond the Thunderdome, I think. Yeah, but Tina Turner's character in that. So the wee horse foal has that aspect. But it's gone to the stage where if the wee foal sees me, he'll immediately come running over to say hi. And it's lovely when you get that moment when he looks up and he sees you and goes, "Oh, my black cat doomer friend is here." So I'll rush over and get all of the rubs. I get to rub his nose and his awesome mohawk. He tries to yeah, nibble off the buttons off my jacket. As, we have the crack. I was going to call him Mohawk, but I've decided to call him Horace instead. Horace, the young horse. So I spent quite a bit of time with Horace. There is another foal that I also spend a little bit of time with. His name is Marcus. So I didn't get to see a lot of wildlife. The dragonflies, yeah, they're gone. But I have been out in nature, and that's pleasant in itself. I'm not enjoying this autumn. I don't welcome the shortening of the days, and I'm very much not looking forward to winter this year. So I'm desperately trying to squeeze the last out of each and every day. Over the last few days, I have noticed the trees jettisoning their leaves, which is also problematic when you are a doomer who likes nature in Ireland. It does rain a lot, so when the trees lose their leaves, it's more difficult to find shelter, and that does cause practical problems. I don't care if you're a true blue Dynwood blackout fucking doomer. You don't want to spend all day, every day, drenched to your bones. It kind of gets unpleasant. So yeah, I'm not happy that the trees are losing their leaves and we're entering the sad months of winter. Um, Mainly it's because, as I said before, I'm in between jobs and I'm involved in these never-ending application processes. So the last video I mentioned one job that I did want because it was a job that would be in a research setting and I would be surrounded by my old mates with whom I would like to reconnect. Unfortunately, though somewhat predictably, I didn't get that job. So it was a 4 month application process that consisted of 4 stages of assessments and interviews that culminated in a rejection email, not even a fucking phone call. just a rejection email, and it was written according to a template. It wasn't a personalized email. At least I got back in touch, but fuck's sake, let's just fucking pick up a fucking phone. I know it's not nice. You don't want to tell someone they didn't get something, but just do it as a matter of professional courtesy. And just if they want a little bit of feedback, that's my fucking feedback. Now, as I said, that job I did want desperately, and I was starting to hope that I got that job. But I'm also fully cognizant of the fact that I was idealizing that job. In reality, I would be surrounded by thousands of normies and required to interact with thousands of normies on a daily basis, and that would have been challenging for me. Um, so I was kind of focusing on the good aspects, such as the possibility of reconnecting with friends, or sort of having access to a resource community again. But I wasn't really realistically thinking about the job itself. But anyway, I didn't get it. They didn't like the cut of my jib, apparently. Um, as I mentioned during the interview, I was nervous. I was a little bit nervous, strangely. I'm never really nervous in any context, but I was nervous during the interview. Partly because I wanted the job, and it was just a little bit of additional pressure. The fact that I actually wanted the job and needed the job, sort of burn through my savings. So I am kind of running out of time and patience simultaneously, and resources. So I did want the job. I did need the job also. So I was nervous during the interview. I was a little bit croakier than usual, and my stress pattern was a little bit more idiosyncratic than usual. So I don't know if that played a role in their decision. I wouldn't expect that it did, but I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I have to say, or how I have to say it, to actually secure a fucking public sector job in this godforsaken republic. Um, Oh yeah, so that happened recently. I also had another interview in a government department in the capital, in Dublin. So the job is located in Limerick, but I had to go to Dublin to do the interview in their headquarters. Makes no sense, guys. Fucking stupid. They also scheduled the interview for early in the morning, which meant that I had to get up and start the journey very, very early in the morning for the job in the hellscape, in an office that is a 15-minute walk away from where I live. Uh, and even if, we just wanted to see you, I know you use Microsoft Teams. I'll stand up. I'll give you a little turn. It's fundamentally, you'll get a sense of me on Microsoft Teams. You don't really need me present, but it is what it is. So I got suited and booted, and went up to Dublin for the interview, which I wasn't looking forward to, obviously, because it meant being on trains, which I don't like, particularly when they're busy. And it also meant traveling quite a distance from the train station to the location where the interview was happening. And I just don't like any city centre, but particularly Dublin, because the place is fucking massive relative to the city where I live. But I must say, I'm going to give the devil his due. Uh, at no point during the day did anyone melt my brain. And I was fucking astonished. I expected to come back a mere husk of myself and possibly need medication to survive the night. But I came back psychologically unaccosted. The train journey in the morning was very quiet. There were some normies playing on their phones, but none of them were playing music. Nobody was screaming, etc. When I got to Dublin, I did notice that the traffic seemed more managed than in the hellscape where I lived. So, as a result, in the city centre, there were less vehicles, there were less cars, and I was also not expecting that, but it's fabulous. Um, I did get lost, so I had to go from the train station to a different part of Dublin that I wasn't familiar with. So I was a little bit lost. And a lovely normie woman showed me the way, and she even walked me down in the general direction of my destination, which is again lovely. You know, it's a lovely thing to do, and I did thank her for that. So it was kind of strange, you know. And then I went to do the interview. It was a three-panel interview this time. There wasn't a four-panel interview. It was a three-panel interview. There was a wee chap taking notes. So there was a fourth guy there, kind of taking notes for some reason. It's like, okay, guys, it's not a fucking, ministerial meeting, but if you need a guy to actually take notes of a conversation, that's fine. That's fine. Uh, but the three-person panel were quite personable, and I enjoyed talking to them. I felt it was a successful interview. I think I hit some of the right notes. Now, unfortunately, and this is a bad habit, in interviews, I do include humor, a bit of humor, sort of. There's usually one or two giggles that I like to cause, so I need to stop doing that. But in general, it was a good interview. So that was last week. So the interview panel were lovely, and everybody in the department was lovely. So the receptionist, everyone, they were just all decent people. So that was good. After that, what did I do then? Oh, after that, I went to the around the corner from the location of the interview. Nice little park. I call it the Ivy Gardens, but apparently that's a mispronunciation. It's pronounced Ivy, I think. But it was my first time there, and I quite like that too. It was a nice little space. So that was nice. So then, after exploring the Ivy Gardens, I skedaddled back in the direction of the train station. I did miss a train, so I went to the bar located next or immediately adjacent to the train station, which was a lovely, very elegant bar. It's called the Galway Hooker. I know what you're thinking, a strange fucking name for a pub in Dublin, but a Galway hooker is a particular type of sailboat. So that's the logic, and there is a river in Dublin, etc. But very, very elegant bar inside, and a nice mix of people too. So I enjoyed my drink there. Then jumped on a train back to the hellscape, and again people just kind of played ball. It was a lot busier on the return journey because you do get a lot of people commuting to the commuter belt, so it was a lot busier on the train, but everyone played ball. There was no screaming, there was no fucking stereos, or I didn't have to listen to anything that would cause me a fucking brain bleed. And the train journey was very smooth. So I left maybe 6:30, I think, in the morning, and I returned at around 3:30 or 4. But it was a relatively successful journey, and one that didn't cause me any psychological scarring, which was surprising. Unfortunately, they sent me an email yesterday explaining that I came in second place. So I came in second place for the job, which does position me on a panel. So they may get in touch with me in due course. But it's still like a kick in the fucking balls at the moment. Um, and there's something just extra bad about coming second place. You'd almost prefer if they said, "Oh, you came 20th." You're shite. When they say, "Oh, you came second," it's like, "Oh God, so close and so far." The equivalent would be, yeah, if you miss a bus or miss a train, and if you miss it by, I don't know, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, it's a pain in the arse, but you don't kind of spend a lot of time thinking about it. It's just the fact of the matter is you missed the fucking bus. But if you just miss the bus, or you just miss the train by a few seconds or a minute or 2 minutes, then it does cause you genuine psychological distress. Similar kind of thing at play. So I came second place in that uh, interview process. Um, I did have to do another assessment on Monday for a different position in a different government department. So the assessment was timed, kind of checked your speed and accuracy. It's just pain in the hole. It's like a video game, where they test your numeracy skills, your verbal reasoning skills, your literacy skills, but all against the clock. And it's just fuck, guys. Fuck. Seriously, are these really required skills now for a job in your department? Fucking mistake recognition against the clock. Is that going to be the fucking job? Proofreading against the clock. I don't know. So yeah, just one of those fucking assessments. There is one other position that I'll probably apply for. Yeah, it's just kind of fucking disheartening. That's also why I've been offline. I'm just kind of sick of shit. Sick of shit. With respect to the ongoing collapse of everything. Yeah, we know exactly what's happening there. So Israel are going to attack Iran at any time. Iran will respond. This narrative creeping in that Iran are scared of Israel and trying to convince Israel just to do some small scale operation to get, sort of a sense of retribution, while simultaneously not forcing Iran to escalate is bollocks. This is fucking bollocks. Jesus Christ, Israel's Iron Dome was overloaded by 200 ballistic missiles. Now imagine 2,500 ballistic missiles, this time carrying heavy warheads. So, the Iron fucking Dome does then. And this thing of, oh no, most of the ballistic missiles were shot down. It's like, I don't know what fucking video you were watching, friend. Around 90% of those bad boys were striking ground. They were hitting home. So the Iron Dome seems to be a pile of bullshit. So all that's on the boil. Russia's winning the war. This fucking other narrative, oh, Putin is rattled, Putin is scared. I don't know what war you're watching, guys. I don't know what war you're watching. Now, I know that Russia's lost 500,000 men, but that's what Russia does, and that's what Russia is prepared to do. So that's factored in. That means fuck all. Meanwhile, in Ukraine last weekend. Military police were doing raids, local restaurants, and fucking a rock concert, detaining young men and press ganging them into the army because they're fucked. So all the war stuff is happening. The fucking climate breakdown is ridiculous. Apparently, this La Nina is not going to be around for long. Imagine, there's marine heat waves everywhere. They're about to wipe out all the corals. Imagine all the data sets are coming in fucking terrible, and yeah, it's all pointing in the direction of terrible acceleration. It does seem to be accelerating with the economy. Yeah, you know my feelings about the economy. I did see that Boeing are fucked. They've announced a lot of layoffs. They're also doing a big buyback, share buyback to generate a bit of money for themselves because they're feeling the sting. Boeing is feeling the sting. Um, yeah, I'm not even going to talk about the fucking doom. I don't even know if I'm gonna fucking post this video, guys. I honestly think I talked about job applications. That's not a good subject for a video. Um, I don't know what I'm gonna call this one. And it's already 40 minutes, and I'm kind of running out of time. And I do have to walk a dog. I promised to walk a dog for an acquaintance today. He's a nice dog. He's elderly dog. Dog's name is Bono. But that's a stupid name, so I call him Slobodan Milosevic. So I'll walk Slobodan after this in the October sun, and then I'll skedaddle out to one of the nature spots for a few hours. I'll try to meet up with my Doomer best mate this evening, just to talk about this and that, and hopefully he'll be available. Um, so yeah, this was kind of just me providing some proof of life, just checking in with you guys. So yeah, I'll try to make them more regular. But as I said, the situation with the job, it could all change. If I get one of these jobs, I'm probably going to have to start making the old videos. Can't be screaming about normies while you're doing a job where you're dealing with normies and trying to help them. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Well, guys, we'll leave it there. The sun is shining. I want to walk Slobodan and enjoy a little bit of warmth. So, wherever you are, I hope it's a splendiferous day. Get out there and fucking wreck the heads of normies. Doomer out.